Hi! Technocopia is a makerspace in Worcester, Massachusetts. We were founded in August of 2013. We have a strong focus in our makerspace on entrepreneurship as well as distributed manufacturing. What we've tried to do in our space is make available systems for automation for our users. Our users can have access to all of the machines that we make available to them as we design and develop new machines. This router here was made available to us through Blackfoot CNC. It's a router that manufactures all of its own parts. It is each of the unique components in this machine were made on another copy of this machine. This router made all the components for our laser cutter. Our laser cutter over here with Jansen Smith running it over here is made of components that were made on the router. We have a variety of power tools available to our users, hand tools in the other room, as well as drill press, grinders, saws, all sorts of other equipment that we make available to our users at all times. So the inspiration to found our makerspace was a mentor I had in elementary school, Carl Johnson. When he passed a few years ago, he handed down all of his tools to me, and I decided that it would be a great homage to him to make these tools not just available for my own personal use, but make them available to a whole community of people. With this equipment, we made all sorts of crazy things, from animatronics to robots that follow faces. We have kids that developed this, which is pretty cool. We do a lot of stuff with Halloween, so you'll see more of that animatronics as we go. This guy here is a monkey that uses some of the latex casting techniques, as well as leather, 3D printing, and robotics. You can see some of the examples of our 3D printers over here, as well as industrial robotics equipment that we make available to our users. Here you can see some of the products from our router, signs, and architectural fixtures, which are pretty cool. Over here we have Alex Camilo and some of our 3D printers. As you can see, these printers were made on laser cutter, just like the one we have in our room there. And print parts out of nothing, which 3D printers, I love it. So, moving down the line, we have our solder and electronics station for designing and fabricating PCBs. A robot over here, which is being entered into the NASA Moon Rover competition. This is going to be doing the sample and return challenge. Electronics testing over here, where you can take your electronics device and validate that it's working. Equipment that we make available to our users, we call this the Jawa Pit. It's like a library of components where you can borrow parts out and use them, put them back, or pay to replace them if you don't want to bring them back. Over here we have our leather and sewing. We do a professional leather working class. I've done leather work for years and years, so I find those things very interesting. So, moving on. Over here we have the 3D printer that we're designing and developing here at Technocopia. All the parts were printed on our printers. The laser cut parts are cut on the laser, and it is a printer that is going to be designed and kickstarted out to the general community later this summer. Over here you can see a really cool example of a desk that you can download and manufacture. This is Jansen's desk that we downloaded off the internet and cut out on a robot, and now there's like a real physical desk here. It's not just small pieces of plastic, it's actual physical objects that you can really use in a day-to-day sense. So, over here we have our really cool lounge and whiteboard area where you're just as likely to hear us sitting down having discussions about philosophy, economics, politics, as you were to hear us talking about robotics and 3D printing, automation of all sorts. We have a lot of fun talking about not just making things, but what making things really means for us and for the entire world. We hope you can join us.
Hi, my name is Nick Paul. I'm one of the founding members of Technocopia. I started Technocopia with the other founders almost a year ago. When we got out of college, we found that there weren't a lot of resources available in terms of like workshops, and, lab space, and build space. So when we wanted to start designing new products that we wanted to bring to market, there weren't any like incubator resources available. The closest hackerspace from Worcester was in Boston, so we decided we would start a hackerspace alongside working on our personal projects that we wanted to build companies around, and we would start the two together as sort of satisfying our need, the community's need, and sort of filling the gap and having it all a whole package together.
Hi, my name is Alex Camillo, and I'm one of the founding members of the Technocopia Hackerspace. One of the things that I do around here is I do PCB layout, SMT rework, electronics design. So, designed the controller for the new printer board. I designed the diode printer in robotics. And one of the things that I like to do is I want to create an open source hackerspace where every single one of the tools in the hackerspace are released under the public domain and someone can just make a copy. That sounds pretty awesome.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm a member of Technocopia, a hackerspace, makerspace, which has empowered me to follow my dreams. Now, cheese aside, my dream in this case was making a present for my girlfriend, which was a painter's palette. And this is actually the third one that I've made, not because she goes through them really fast, but because, a friend of hers also wanted one, and I was thinking, alright, maybe there's something lucrative that I can do with that. And they have all the tools available for me. They have a laser cutter and other resources. Being here has allowed me to do a number of other things. I've always wanted to make a longboard, so I'm making a longboard press here on their router. And just talking with all the people here, a lot of really neat ideas, a lot of new possibilities that I didn't know was at my fingertips now. So it's a good place. I like it. And I like the ethos that all the people have. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jansen Smith, and I volunteer to run the queue at Technocopia. I push through machines for other people, other members. Everything from cell phone cases to painting easels, as you previously saw. This is my current personal project, Masquerade Mask. So basically do it all here. Make the future happen, little by little, project by project. I find that every project that we work on gives us more knowledge and more tools with which to do newer future projects. I'm proficient at using the laser cutter, the giant CNC router, the 3D printers. As a member, I'm involved in the Da Vinci Surgical Robotics project. I build the controllers that make the surgery robots run.
My name is J. Mark Inman. I am a filmmaker, and I'm here to essentially learn more about hacking. I program, and I really enjoy talking politics, philosophy, and discussing the social issues that are involved. Some of my favorite times here have been sitting with Kevin and Nick and discussing some of the concerns that people have as that makerspaces can bring to the communities. And I like learning, and I'd like to eventually maybe even give a class on autodidacticism. And yeah, that's why I'm here, and I very much enjoy it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. I'm one of the founders of Technocopia, and as well as one of the founders of one of the companies that operates out of here, Neuron Robotics. I founded it with Alex in 2008. We built robot controllers and made these available to industrial settings as well as for hobbyists. All the tools that we had collected together, we're using as a framework for direct digital automation. We're trying to use the open source robotics control platform that we developed that's being used for neurosurgery through industrial applications, and making that framework generally available to build open source technology, with the end goal being a system that produces all of its own raw materials, produced items, as well as the components of the manufacturing system itself. We see this cohesive vision as a framework for a makerspace, a purpose that drives us forward. We want the open source development to be available to everyone, and we see makerspaces as the framework to get us there.